Should the Carolina Panthers trade for and then break the bank to pay the NFL sack leader from a season ago? Didn't think I'd be asking that question today, if we're being honest. Should they trade for Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals? Well, let's dive in, shall we? So Fox Sports ran an article titled, "One Perfect Landing Spot for Each Minicamp Holdout." That was the link. That was the gotcha. That's the clickbait. So I clicked it. Why? Because the Panthers, Carolina Panthers, had actually been linked to Jalen Ramsey as a nice landing spot a few times, and I knew Ramsey was holding out. So I was like, let's see if they're going with the Panthers for Ramsey as well. Nope. However, the Panthers were named as the perfect fit for Trey Hendrickson. And I at first I went, oh, wait a minute. Because on the surface, I get it. They're need being filled by a service, right? Like the Panthers need what Hendrickson is best at. They need edge rushing. And I know they have attempted to address it with Pat Jones, the free agent who's making like $6 million a year on a 2-year deal from Minnesota, and then also with their second and third round pick and Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen. And they're hoping that some guys will get healthy and maybe get after the quarterback a little bit more in different roles than they've played in the past. You're talking DJ Wanham, you're talking maybe Derek Brown, getting more of a pass rush into his game. Like they're hoping to have solved it. But if you need edge rushing and somebody with 3.5 more sacks than anyone else in the league last season becomes available, I can see why somebody writing an article might go, need being filled by talent. There you go. Puzzle pieces fit together. Let's make it happen. However, that's where the sense ends for me. And this is maybe, I felt like I was being a little cynical earlier. I think this is where I'm being maybe generous to a player. There are a few situations in sports where I understand it when a player just tells their agent, get me my money. Or, to use Jerry Maguire's terms, or actually Rod Tidwell's terms in Jerry Maguire, show me the money.
Show me the money.
I love. Never mind. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it. This is one of those situations. Trey Hendrickson is one of the elite edge rushers in the league, and he has been now for a handful of years, but he hasn't always been. Okay. Now this is where we have to put our like regular human, like we wake up, we punch the clock, we go 9 to 5 brains. We got to put those on the shelf and put on we're talking about very, very, very rich people of all kinds. We got to put that brain in. Trey Hendrickson is 30 years old. And up to this point, his career earnings sit at just $68 million. Right? Again, we're not talking about us. $68 million, more money than we could spend in 10 lifetimes. But for Trey Hendrickson and what he brings to a industry like the NFL, his career earnings sit at just $68 million. For comparison, he's 30 years old. T.J. Watt is also 30 years old. Myles Garrett is 29 years old and change. Okay, so they're kind of in similar points in life, and they're guys that have led the leagues in sacks, right? They're guys that get after the quarterback. Myles Garrett almost doubles $68 million in career earnings. TJ Watt has made $50 million more in career earnings than Trey Hendrickson, simply because they produced at an earlier stage in their career. So their second contract broke the bank, where Hendrickson, mostly off of the fact that his first 3 years, he totaled 6.5 sacks combined in his first 3 years with the Saints before breaking out in year 4, then getting traded to the Bengals, where he's been consistently productive. But because of that, there is really one opportunity for Hendrickson to get forget you money, right? There's one opportunity for him to get yeah, if I have a friend, I'm going to help fund their business, and I'm still going to have $100 million left for safekeeping. Like that, there's only one chance because he's 30 years old now. You figure the next contract's going to be a 4 or 5 year deal. You're 34, 35. You're not getting the same offers anymore. T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, guys that performed, drafted higher, performed right out of the gate, they get 2 or 3 bites at the apple. So if right now he's holding out, right, and people go, oh, he held out, I would show up for work every day if you paid me that. Yeah, I get it. We would. We're not them. Got to put that brain on the shelf. He has one shot at the $30 million a year contract that takes you from forget you money to more vulgar forget you money. Like that's what he has right now. I think I walk down the fence kind of all right here. I give you one contract where you tell your agent, nah, I want to set the market. Then I start doing the how much money do you need? Then I start doing the do you really want to take your team out back in negotiations and whip up on them, or would you rather have a better team to go win and settle for only being the 4th highest paid at your position? I give you one. Trey Hendrickson hasn't had it yet. Right, I say it all the time. If I were a quarterback in the NFL, and I were they say it's not the best; it's whoever's next sets the market. I would go all right, here's the deal. I'd have my agent there to muzzle me when I get too carried away. But I'd go, here's the deal. The market is right now $60 million a year. Right, Dak's setting the market. He was next, $60 million. I will take 35, but I want to spend the 25. Right? So if there's some my buddy on the team, if he's going to hold out next year because you guys don't want to pay him enough, I want to be able to go dip into my 25, make up the $3 million that he's holding out for. I want him at mini camps day one.
You could be revolutionizing NFL contract structure right now.
I don't think any of this is legal in the CBA.
You can't be a player, GM.
It would
part-time.
It would be like a handshake deal, and it would have to you have to trust the team. But I would go I want 35, and I want to spend the other 25, and that way, if our left tackle gets hurt, I'm cool. I got 19 million for you to go get whatever you need in the trade market to get me my left tackle back. Right here it is. My point, I say all of that to say this. Hendrickson isn't there yet. So he's holding out from the Bengals because he wants money. When he comes to the Panthers, he's not going to suddenly go, oh, well, now I'm playing for a team that is in a slightly warmer weather climate, so I don't need to get my gigantic bite at the apple. He's still going to want huge cash, and you're still going to have to give it to him, which is why the Panthers are on this list as a fit. Because at this point in the calendar year, there's not that many teams with cap flexibility. Most contenders have spent their available money. The Panthers have a quarterback on a rookie contract, which, by the way, in this same article, they said T.J. Watt should go to Washington. That's the perfect fit. What do they have in common? Rookie contract quarterbacks. So you have a little bit of extra money to spend. So if you want to do that and cash all your chips there, all of the money you saved by having your quarterback on a rookie contract on a 30-year-old edge rusher, you can. You'd obviously have to trade a good amount to get him in the first place, but then you can put the $30 million a year right there, right? You didn't want to give it to Brian Burns. If you want to give it to Hendrickson, go ahead. The issue is the windows. It's a Kevin Durant to Houston move. Hendrickson's 30. Do you know why I said that those edge rushers don't get massive contract offers when they're 34, 35? Because they're rarely as good at 34, 35 and beyond. So, it'll feel really good having Hendrickson with the Panthers for the next 2 or 3 years. I guarantee you, sitting right here in this chair, talking about the Panthers for months on end, it'll be much more fun the next 2 years if Hendrickson's out there grabbing a sack and a quarter a game. It's going to be awesome. But then when Bryce Young hopefully develops into the stud that they predicted he would be in the draft, and he's ready to lead a Super Bowl contender starting with his 4th, 5th year in the league, when Teteroa McMillan is 3rd, 4th year in the league, is now a seasoned route-running pro, and they're ready to go compete, Trey Hendrickson's going to be going, yeah, I'm still getting my $35 million per year off that gigantic contract. However, I'm no longer giving you 15 sacks a year. I'm giving you 9. And you can't really afford to go out and get it because you're paying me all that money. By the way, I like Hendrickson. I think he's a really good player. I have a buddy who's a Saints fan that still is like, why in the world did we suffer through all the bad years, and then as soon as he became good, we sent him away? I'm a big Hendrickson fan. This is a move you make after you make the playoffs like 2 or 3 consecutive years. After you make the playoffs like 2 or 3 consecutive years and you're looking for that thing that will get you over the hump, then, yeah, go ahead, do it. You don't do this to get wins, 7, 8, and 9. You do this to get wins 11, 12, and 13. That's when you do it. The Panthers just aren't there yet. So it's fun. By the way, explore it. Answer the call. Right? I know it's the other sport, but go full Eric Tulsky, right? We're going to listen to all offers until we have the best players at every position on our roster. We're going to keep working. Like, answer the call, think about it, and then call them back up and say, absolutely not. Maybe we can work out a deal for some other guys, right? Keep those lines open. I would have been more excited for like a T. Higgins, but hey, that's questions for another day. You solved that with Teteroa McMillan.
Don't hate if they make a big swing, though. I like that. You're showing that you have faith in your roster, and you add that piece, and you're counting on them to compete. I like that. I don't mind that.
I don't mind a big move. I'm learning I'm very ageist. In across multiple sports. I don't know.
You gotta get the young guys.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I want my core to line up within 4 or 5 years of each other, age-wise. I don't want, if possible, I don't want the 36-year-old clinging on to whatever productivity they have left right as like 3 or 4 other guys are turning 27 and ready to go. I actually think, and I've referenced this, and again, this is like, football theory. Not, and I don't know if it's to be executed in real life, but it's to be discussed. I've thought about if you can line up your ages really well, right, to the point where like your late round picks, you're making sure your late round picks are like early declares, then 4th year guys, then redshirt guys, so they're all kind of the same age. If you can do that, and 3 or 4 of them become franchise legends, you can hide your reset. Because then when they turn 35, 36, you can hide like your tank to go get your next high picks behind their retirement tours, right? Because I've no one's done it better than the Lakers, right? When Kobe's retirement tour, every time he walked off the court the entire season, everybody was applauding, and he had the 60 to end, and it was unbelievable, and it like – nobody noticed that the Lakers stunk, and they were getting high draft picks to build up their talent pool, and you end up with, what was it, Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle and Lonzo Ball, right? Like, they were bad, but nobody was booing them, nobody was complaining, because it was the last hurrahs with Kobe, and Kobe got hurt one year, and they did all that. So if you just had like everyone 24 years old, and then you compete for the next 6 years, right, 24 to 30. They become franchise legends. You're still probably pretty good till they're 33, 34. Then they stink, but they're old. No one's going to boo them because they're franchise legends. You get all the high draft picks. You draft the next generation. You do that over and over again. It's like a delayed dynasty. But again, I don't know if that's actually applicable. It's more theory, right? These are the conversations you have on the back deck at 2 a.m. drinking with your buddies. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. You go get every 25-year-old in the league, you put them on one team, and you wait 8 years. I don't know if it actually works, but there's something there, I promise you.